Hello, everybody. Buddy with Midland, Texas. I'm gonna do a little video this morning that I've talked about before, and it's the Vivint attic alarms. I had a Vivint security system put in my attic. I've done a video on this before. I've got a short, just write up on this that I posted on Facebook. I'm gonna read it to you, and it'll explain what I'm talking about. In 2012, I miraculously survived a premeditated murder attempt whereby I had been ambushed and shot by somebody under my home with burglar alarms going off in the attic and my phone lines cut. Later that same year, a Vivint salesperson came by my home trying to sell me one of their security systems. I explained to them what happened to me, and I agreed to purchase this expensive system and pay the monthly charge if they would install it in my attic. I have a feeling they've never been asked to do that before. I was wanting to prove these unique crimes were happening here. Okay. The times that I'd called the police before about these crimes, they refused to investigate, and then they would call me crazy on the police reports. It's now known these same crimes are happening at many other homes, and it looks like the police do the same thing to all of the crime victims. That has left little doubt that our police are working with the criminals who are sneaking into private homes for burglary, theft, and murders. This is organized crime and racketeering, and I'm sure they're making lots of money off of it. After getting the Vivint system installed into my attic, I noticed that my other do-it-yourself security systems and motion detectors were still going off, and I could still hear people moving around in my attic. But the Vivint security system sat there like it was stupid. I called Vivint and I complained several times as I believe these high-tech criminals were hacking their system. I've already proved they were hacking my security camera system. After the second call, Vivint said they found a programming error, and the next day, on December 9, 2012, the Vivint security system in my attic dispatched the police to my attic. The police report for this day showed they changed this alarm call to a warrant call and then changed it back, claiming that was an accident. I believe an attempt had been made to arrest me that day, which failed. The officers dispatched to my home were Iliad, Amperan, and Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler had been to my home on my first call for police in the attic on January 8, 2011, a year before I was shot with burglar alarms going off in my attic. He was married to dirty cop April Chandler, who was caught tampering with evidence and lying on police reports in the murder attempt on my life. These police refused to go up in my attic and look, and in fact, the police have never gone on my attic on any of the times I've called them or my Vivint alarm system called them. I believe this also happens at the homes of the other crime victims where they've reported people in their attic, which are burglary. It's a burglary habitation. 10 days later, the Vivint security system dispatched the police to my attic a second time. The police dispatched here on that day was Chad Simpson and Steve Brackett. Chad was one of the secret police that had been caught on camera inside my home on the night of the murder attempt, and it was found out that his name had been illegally omitted from the police report. He hadn't been dispatched to my house. It was reported that he murdered his wife and killed himself on December 15, 2014, but he was not identified as the secret police until 2018. Bracken makes a comment on this report and said, he thinks there are people in the walls. I suspect this was an inside joke, as it's now known that is exactly how the home intruders are sneaking into my home. They're coming up a wall. I suspect the same thing is also going on at the many other homes where the owners have reported people in the attic. Okay. I believe it was this call when one of these officers told me, buddy, I'm the low man on the totem pole. And I knew what he was saying. They had been ordered to help cover up these crimes by their boss, regardless of the truth, evidence, or fact. A few weeks later, I got letters from the city of Midland threatening to fine me if Vivint dispatched the police to my attic again. They called these false alarms, when the truth is they never went into my attic and looked. They were valid alarms. This forced me to disable this expensive security system, even though I was still paying for it. I've now had 2 women tell me they were raped by people in the attic and the police were not called because it was known the police call the crime victims crazy without ever investigating. I don't believe they're stupid, which means they're working with these criminals breaking into the homes for burglary, theft, and murder, and now rape. This is lawlessness. Let's listen to the phone call. This was from my Vivint alarm system, and on Christmas Day, December 2012, the year that I was ambushed and shot with burglar alarms caught off my attic. And this is a YouTube video that I posted way back in 2015. We're going to play it here now.
Yeah, it was an alarm, and I believe it to be a valid alarm because I get a lot of valid alarms. It's just the problem is that the police have been over here more than a couple times, and they won't look. And so, I don't see any big reason to call them, and that's kind of where we're at. So I just acknowledge the alarm, and then I document it, and then we just put it back in service. Hello?
I'm sorry, sir, for the trouble. So you don't want a police dispatch?
No, like I said, they've been here more than once, and they won't look. I have that recorded on audio, and so if they're not going to look, it doesn't matter for them to come over. I just document it.
Oh, okay, Mr. Webb, I'm so sorry for your trouble. I'll go ahead and disregard the phone if you don't want to dispatch, and if you do need any records from us, you can just let us know, okay?
Hey, do not file this as a false alarm. It is not a false alarm. This is a valid alarm. It's just I don't want it dispatched because they won't do anything. Like I said, I have evidence of that.
Okay, sir, I will note that in the account.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Webb. You have a good day.
You too. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas. This is Christmas Day, and it's showing that the crimes here never stop. It don't matter if it's a holiday or whatever. I'll show you here on my wall. There's a Vivint alarm system right there right now, and right underneath that clock, and I've kept it all these years, and I still pay for it because it's a backup communication. Remember, they cut my phone lines before they shot me. These killers did. Okay, here we go. There are 2 police reports for when my Vivint security system, my attic, dispatched the police due to active burglaries, but the police refused to investigate and call me crazy on the police reports. These are the 2 police reports, and there's the date of them. There's the incident number at the top, and the December 9th, 2012. And here on the comment, alarm is in the attic. Homeowner is there, thinks someone is in the attic. I know for a fact someone's in the attic. This next section right here was that lie made up by April Chandler calling me a paranoid schizophrenic when I'd been cleared by mental health at the hospital and I'm the victim of a murder attempt. It shows up on every police report. Anytime my name's pulled up on a police report, everybody sees April Chandler's lie calling me a paranoid schizophrenic. She ought to go to prison for that one. And here's where you can see they changed the alarm call to a warrant call and then changed it back from a warrant call to alarm call and said it was an accident, And then here, Eliad Emperan, Michael Chandler. And as I said, Michael Chandler is the husband of April Chandler, one of the secret police, And so that was the first call that Vivint dispatched my home. They refused to go up my attic and looked, And then the second call came in 10 days later on the 19th. December 19th, 2012. Remember, I shot earlier that year in January 2012. And once again here, alarm company is speaking to a child over the line. He's afraid someone in the attic. There's no child here. That was not true. And here, once again, you see April Chandler's lie that follows me on every police report. There's no telling how many people that she's done this to. Just make up blatant, life-destroying lies, permanently attach them to name on the police reports, to cover up violent murders and crimes, The dispatcher was Kevin Bullard, and then Chad Simpson and Stephen Bracken was dispatched to my house. And what's interesting, Chad Simpson is the secret police that murdered his wife and killed himself in 2014. And 2 days before that, I'd posted this picture on my Facebook as a secret police. I didn't know who he was, and along with a story called "Rape and Murder." It was about the story of the young girl murdered at the Underground Oil Show party in 2010. And then here on the comments, and this one come in from Bracken, no child, it is him, and he thinks there are people on the walls, not a good alarm. And I had never said there were people on the walls at that time, and I didn't even suspect it. Now I'm sure of it. That's exactly what's going on. They've modified a wall with enough crawl space to come up from a tunnel up into the attic. That's what they're doing. That allows them to come and go without being seen, and then they break apart the heating cooling system. They steal heating, cooling, electricity from the owner. It's basically free room and board for life, and all they got to do is buy the bullets to shoot the homeowner when they try to stop the theft. And so that's really what's going on there. And so I think that was an inside joke there, And then here you see at the bottom, 1096, that's a mental patient that are crazy. So they call me. So basically they come into my house, they refuse to go up and investigate, to look, and then they call me crazy on the police report. Even when I first called the police to my home, and that was when Michael Chandler was there on January 8th, 2011, there was 4 police there that night. They also refused to go up. And I said, well, y'all wait here, I'll go up. No, we ain't even doing that. They wouldn't even stay downstairs while I went up in the attic and looked, And that's the thing. I don't think the police are stupid. I just think they're working with these criminals that are breaking into homes for burglary, theft, and murder. I think it's a very lucrative crime ring. It's organized crime, and they're making a lot of money off it, and they're bribing these dirty cops. That's what I believe is going on, So I just wanted to show you that, okay? The next ones, I got 2 letters from the city of Midland advising me that I would be fined if Vivint dispatched the police to my attic again for what they called false alarms. The truth is the police came to my home, didn't go up in the attic and even look, And here we go. The Midland Police Department reported false alarm, and here was the 2 dates. I was showing you 12/9, 12/19. I combined 2 letters together right there. And going to have a $500 if they're more than 3 false alarms, basically. So they're going to fine me. So I disabled that alarm system, and due to these letters from the city, so they got all the bases covered to break in your home, steal from you, kill you, rape the women, etc. And these corrupt police, I think it's modus operandi, are intentionally on purpose destroying the lives of the crime victims, calling the crime victims crazy, refusing to investigate. They're not even looking, and these crimes are going on all over the place. And what makes this all work is our corrupt press is hiding it from the public. One story right here saying that there's homeowners all over reporting people in the attic, and then this would never happen again. They would never break in another home, never rape another woman, never murder, steal, kill, lie, Here, watch this.
Someone who she claims was in the attic.
Somebody's going to be a 7-year-old male. He can hear yelling and fighting. His mother's in the attic. He can hear her being assaulted.
And then there's a list of addresses just in Midland, Odessa, and it's more than that. Every time I turn around, I hear about new addresses for other people that are reporting people in the attic. And so this, that's the tip of the iceberg. And that's what the point I'm making. If the press would report that should be a headline news story right there. And if it would, heads would roll. They'd never break into another home. They'd never rape another innocent woman. Them police would never come over and destroy the life of an innocent crime victim with their lies. These crimes would be stopped. Our press is a major player in allowing these crimes against the innocent public. I was shot with burglar alarms going off in my attic, you know. And what I'm showing you here, this is the nurse's notes. Here I'm crawling out at 10:42. At 11:27, the nurse is documenting me what I'm saying. The neighbors are breaking into my house. There's sirens going off. I have tire wire around my cabs in the closet. There's voice word recording what I have. I have cameras. My neighbors are built a tunnel from their home to my home. They're stealing my stuff. The alarms kept going off. I was tire wiring my door shut. That's what I was saying at the emergency room minutes after I crawled out. And why did I crawl out? Because I was ambushed and shot. You know, this was a premeditated murder attempt, you know, is what it was. And we now know I trapped a burglar in the bathroom that night unknowingly. That might have been the excuse to try to murder me. Not a single day goes by that I don't hear somebody in my home. And I just heard somebody a few minutes ago today. I'm talking about today. Sometimes it's soft noises, but other times they fall down or drop their gun or whatever. It leaves absolutely no doubt to people being here. I believe the reason the crimes have never stopped here is because there is an underground home in the backyard, just like many people have said, and that is where a young girl was murdered at a 2010 oil show party, just like Angie told me about. Multiple people are documented saying it's here, and you can see it on old Google Maps, and that's what I showed many times on this Google Earth map screen right here, where in my backyard it was showing a bunker in the backyard on the map screen, but not above ground. There's the backyard right here. I believe that was the tunnel ditch cut coming from Home Depot to my house, used by the people at the oil show parties. And this is where they're forcing, you know, the girls to prostitute and murder that little girl. But why they keep breaking in this home? Because they don't want that exposed, right? And there was police at that party. Whole list of people documented, phone calls, screenshots, and everything that real law enforcement could investigate. This shouldn't have never gone on this far, you know. This just keeps on killing and raping and murdering and stealing. It is absolutely wrong. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.